Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers and sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning into the LO3 podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy Mango, South Florida. And today's date is Wednesday, December 25th, 2019. Well, hopefully everyone is having a great Christmas, Hanukkah, and, of course, Kwanzaa, which is the next day. And it's interesting because some of these holidays have its history, heritage, tales, and so forth. Some of it have paganistic aspects of it. All you gotta do is read a Britannica on it. But mainly Christmas too, so it's always good to know these things. However, Christmas is actually mean Christian Mass. And it should only be celebrated during the season. It should be all year round. Be consistent as possible. We all have our human elements. Have our bad days. Make our errors in life, including myself. Demoralizing one another. I could be an example on that. Both ways. And so, but we can always learn from that and better ourselves. Which I find essential to every single beautiful person out there on this planet. The contrary is, never get stressed out on gifts, material things, but knowledge is the most valuable present you can give to anyone. And I've been doing that for a long time to inspire people, liberate themselves from tyranny. Guys, folks out there still, we're a bunch of slaves, including you. So you want me to emulate yourself, me emulating everyone out there, like Schlup Rocks. Wowsy, wowsy, woo. Do you recall the Pebbles and Bam Bam show? Schlup Rock? You should look it up on YouTube. Very interesting. Individuals like that get grave real quick. Including the ones that have holding animosity, grudges, bad energy. Get people sick. Sometimes they get a stroke or other diseases, which I wish ill on no one. So I'm always caring. A lot of time. There's others I'm not too fond of. It's their actions, not themselves. Like you hate the sin, not the sinner. That makes a lot of sense. Not being programmed or any means. You have folks out there younger than me asking for money. Very distorted. All here's excuses. They go into some of these facilities to try to do that. And I say to them, why are you being rude? And others don't want to comprehend it, so they're obtuse. That's unethical. We're going to have those flaws in life. Conquer them. Minimize them. I'm not saying simple. We all have different emotions. But help those that help themselves. Because if you don't help yourself, how are you going to receive homage? So, my little rant there. I'm going to just narrate one article. And it's a historical one. It's pretty cool. And like I said, you can have a lot of folks don't have their different creeds and they get really, I would say, morose on this particular holiday. However, this is a great article written by Rob Johnson from Op-Ed News. Exclusive, to be exact. Something real to celebrate. December 25th. And as it reads here, folks. Many free thinkers and non-religious people feel somewhat left out during the Christmas season. We don't feel right pretending we believe the Bible story or God impregnating a virgin, who then gives birth to the Son of God in Israel. We strongly doubt, and many of us openly reject, this irrational religious story, which violates our gift from God to innate reason. Thankfully, there's something very real, very inspiring, and very positive that really did happen on December 25th. To be specific, it happened on Wednesday, December 25th, and Thursday, December 26th, in 1776. That's like, wow, 243 years today. The deist George Washington and his army of rebels crossed the Delaware River on the night of the 25th and successfully fought the Battle of Trenton on the morning of the 26th. There was much more than a military victory for the American rebels. The Continental Army had been pushed out of New York and New Jersey by the most powerful military force on earth at that time, the British Army. The Americans in 1776 still saw themselves as British subjects, so the army they were fighting was really their own army. This made evident by Paul Revere, who during his famous ride to warn the rebels the approaching army did not yell, "The British are coming," but instead yell, "The regulars are coming." And I recommend a good book to read, friends. It's called Paul Revere's Ride. And there were like 4 or 5 midnight riders. One of them was Paul Revere. Another one was a free black individual that stood for what was right. Liberty-minded people. Very great story. Good book. Recommend you check it out. General Washington knew the unsuccessful end of the American Revolution was very near, but had been a long time since the rebels had a victory on the battlefield. Their ranks were thinned out by soldiers killed in action, those who had been captured, those who died from illness, those who were wounded or too ill to fight, and those who deserted. To make the matters much worse and put even more weight on Washington's shoulders, at the end of December, the enlistment of his remaining men would be up. George Washington knew the only way to keep American Revolution alive was to have a battlefield victory in this crucial hour. If he did not attack, his army would be gone at the end of the month and the American Revolution would be over. If he attacked and lost, the American Revolution would be over. But he and his men beat the odds and won. The American Revolution would survive to another day, to fight another day. That's when he devised his plan to attack the Hessian outpost at Trenton, New Jersey, which is now the capital. On Wednesday, December 25th, the American rebel army began their dangerous crossing the Delaware River into New Jersey at sunset. Due to the courage and skill of John Glover and his Massachusetts fishermen, they had the rebel army and their horse supplies across by the early morning hours of the 26th. Washington's battle plan called for 3 columns of troops to all attack before sunrise. Unfortunately, only one column was able to make it across the river into New Jersey, and by the time the one column was ready to attack, it was already past sunrise. Washington must have believed in the philosophy of doing the very best you can what you have, for in spite of his battle plan not being fully being realized, he decided to attack. After a march through the snow of Trenton, they commenced their assault and soundly defeated the surprised Hessians. This rebel victory at Trenton helped greatly to inspire Washington's men as well as inspire the discouraged supporters of the American Revolution to continue the fight. It also gave Washington and his men much-needed food, supplies, weapons, and ammunition they captured from the Hessians. Deism does not have any man-made dogmas pretending to be directives from God. The only belief that is common to all deists is a belief in the supreme intelligence, God beyond this. Individual deists are free to make up their own minds regarding such topics as life after death, God intervening in human affairs, etc. Regarding the latter, the deist George Washington believed God did intervene in human affairs through providence, but wrote that he believed providence is indestructible. The truth to this would seem evident regarding the Battle of Trenton. There were no Americans who were killed during the battle, and only 2 officers and 2 privates were wounded. One of the wounded soldiers was the deist James Monroe. James Monroe is the person responsible for freeing the deist Thomas Paine from the French prison of the Luxembourg in 1794, which saved Paine's life and allowed him to write Part 3 of The Age of Reason and to work to promote deism. Celebrating Trenton night and day on the 25th and 26th of December is very meaningful and a real way of showing heartfelt appreciation for their heroes of free thought and progress. Without their courage, dedication, and sacrifice, the world would still have been living under the sickening belief in divine rights of kings, an ungodly combination of religion and government. We have a lot to learn from the greatest generation of 1776 about perseverance, dedication, and never giving up. An outstanding, inspiring film about the Battle of Trenton is The Crossing. Very interesting. Very good article about Mr. Johnson. He's a freelance writer, a paralegal and a freelance writer in Florida. Was raised as a Roman Catholic, but after reading Thomas Paine's Age of Reason, he became a deist. He founded the World Union on Deists, and in 1996, he launched the first website. Very cool. I respect that from Mr. Johnson. And like I said, like I tell people, I'm no Bible hater or anti-Christian or anything like that. When it comes to tyranny, I call it all out. I always said Jesus was a rebel, a maverick. Call him the Son of God, that's cool. I believe in that, but it doesn't mean I'm going to condemn you for not. The universe is a lot more complex than what we think. And crazy thing about this story, many people in that army have their different beliefs of creed, but they stood as one. They fought on principle for a great cause. We could all liberate ourselves. And this is why vigilance is the key to liberty. Never trust the government. As Thomas Jefferson wrote in the final paragraphs of Declaration of Independence. Partisan factions, political parties, are nothing more than Mickey Mouse clubs. But it doesn't mean I'm going to agree with every single person that's in those factions. There's bigger fish to fry, my friends. And 2020 needs to be the year or the decade of countering all forms of tyranny, whether it's federal, local, state, global. That's how I see things. Expect a rough ride, of course, but never, ever let fear control your actions. Spiritually, metaphorically, physically, mentally, prepare yourselves. Not just for your well-being, but the ones you love. And that is it. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to share this and download it. Download and share it throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or something interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please address your correspondence with decorum, and I'll leave this article on my footnotes via Spreaker page. Once again, thank you for your time. But always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Till next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you. Oops. Wrong key.